In the last video, we saw how open sentences could be used to develop set builder notation to describe what sets are. In this video, we're going to find another place where open sentences come up. That is actually where open sentences are a part of regular statements. So we're going to review what open sentences are, first of all. And then we're going to identify some statements that have some open sentences in them. That does seem a little contradictory since open sentences aren't statements themselves, but you'll see how that works in just a little bit. So remember, here are the essentials of an open sentence. First of all, it is a sentence, as the name implies. It has at least one variable in it. It is not a statement, at least not by itself. However, there is an acceptable set of values that can be plugged in for the variables in the sentence. So you have a sentence, it has a variable in it, and there are some values that you can plug in that are specified in advance. So, and if you recall, these are called the universal set. If you were to plug in any of the acceptable values, in other words, any of the values in the universal set for those variables, it actually does make the sentence a statement. So without plugging in the values, it's not a statement, but plugging in the values, it makes it a statement. And then it turns out there are some statements where an open sentence is either explicitly written or is implicitly a part of that statement. And I will show you two examples so you can see how that works. So the first is, say you have the number 29 and you want a test of whether or not it is an odd number. I mean, we know it's an odd number by looking at it because we're experiencing these things, but let's pretend we didn't know and we wanted to know what the test was for 29 being an odd number. So I would say, well, there exists k and z such that 29 equals 2k plus 1. And that is a test statement, right? Which means that if there is a k that makes that true, then it is an odd number. And if there's not, then there's not an odd number. Notice that the sentence there exists k and z such that 29 equals 2k plus 1 is a statement. It is either true, and that would mean that 29 is an odd number, or it's false, which would mean 29 is not an odd number. Now, it happens to be true. If you plug in k equal 14, then you get 2k plus 1 equals 29, and so 29 is an odd number. But the most important thing that I want you to note here is that it is a statement. However, there is an open sentence in there. If you look carefully, and maybe if you don't look that carefully, 29 equals 2k plus 1. It's a sentence, has a variable in it. There are things, it is a sentence. Sorry, I got ahead of myself there. It has a variable in it, k. It is not a statement, not by itself. 29 equals 2k plus 1 is not a statement. We can plug in any integer for k, and if you don't believe me, it says so in the statement. There exists k in z. That means k is an integer, so that means we're allowed to plug in integers for k. That means z is our universal set, so our open sentence does have a universal set. And plugging in any integer value in for k makes it a statement. Whether or not it's the 14 that we're looking for that particular, to see if it's an odd number, or any other one, it's going to be a statement. And so even though that 29 equals 2k plus 1 itself is an open sentence, not a statement, when we add that there exists part with the k and z and whatnot, that does make it a statement. And it tells us that in order to determine whether it's true or false, we just have to determine whether or not there is a value of k. We just have to find one. Maybe there's more than one, maybe there's not. I don't care. I just have to find one that makes the sentence true. So here's another one that maybe it's hard to see the open sentence, but it has an open sentence in it, and it is a statement, and that is, all of my friends were at my birthday dinner. Okay? Now, clearly a statement, right? Either all of my friends were at my birthday dinner, or if even one of my friends was missing from my birthday dinner, it's going to be false. So if all my friends were there, true. If at least one of my friends was missing, false. All right, so it is a statement. It's maybe hard to see, but there is an implied universal set. Remember, the universal set focuses our attention on just certain things so that we know what to test for what's going on. And in this case, we're just looking at the set of my friends. Anything or anyone that is not my friend is not relevant at all to this statement. Not relevant at all to determining whether or not this statement is true. So the universal set is the set of my friends. So I'm going to let f be the set of my friends. That's my universal set. And so I'm going to let the variable little f, and that is going to be in the set f. So little f is one of my friends, right? And the big F is the set of all my friends. So what we would want to do is look at each little f in big F and determine whether or not they were at my birthday dinner. That's going to help me figure out whether or not that's a true statement or a false statement. So the question is, well, where's my open sentence? Well, now that I've set up some notation, I can actually show you what my open sentence is going to be. And that is, F was at my birthday dinner. Right? And so, whoops. Again, I want you to notice that it really is an open sentence because it has a universal set. My set of F is in my set of friends. The variable itself, F, is in the sentence. F was at my birthday dinner. It is a sentence, right? And by itself, it's not a statement. I don't know if F was at my birthday dinner. That's something that has to be determined because it might depend on what friend that actually was. And so this also gives me an alternate wording for my original statement. Remember, the original statement was all of my friends were at my birthday dinner. I could say it if I wanted to. It's a little bit weird to say it this way, but I don't know. I'm okay with weird. For all little f in big F, remember big F is the set of all my friends, F was at my birthday dinner. And that's an equivalent way of saying all of my friends were at my birthday dinner. And then you can see that here is a statement that has an implied open sentence within it. All right, so now that you've had a chance to think about open sentences and what roles they play in statements, now I think you're ready for the in-class activities. It's a PDF file included with this video, and it's called Open Sentences in Statements.